Good field for this one as well. World champion.
Austria.
The men's horizontal bar final will begin with Austria's Alexander Bender. 5th strongest in qualification. 11 national titles he's won. And it's his 2nd ever international final. Dianovich of Hungary, 2nd strongest in qualification. He won this title in Szombathely last year. His teammate will be next to go, Boton Kardos, 6th best in the qualifying competition. 8th final for him. Even Dianovich of Serbia, 8th strongest in qualification, a first ever senior international final for the 21-year-old. He'll be joined by the experience of Petro Pachniuk, who won the silver medal in Szombathely on the horizontal bar last year. From 4th strongest in qualifying to 7th strongest, but another Ukrainian, Vladislav Feriko. Ginastica of Croatia, the top qualifier, the world champion on the horizontal bar from 2017, the silver medalist last year. And then, yet again, the eponymous Milad Karimi, who's participated in all of the men's finals today. He was a silver medalist at the World University Championships last year on the horizontal bar. So some very well-known names in horizontal bar competition and some less well-known names. And one of the great joys of a horizontal bar final is you never really quite know what you're going to get. You do know, if you've got Ginastica there, that you're going to get something spectacular. That's the only way he operates. So time to talk those of you who are new to gymnastics through the mechanisms of a horizontal bar routine. And one of the key things to be looking for is whether gymnasts manage to connect, release and catch elements. They will all do a number of releases and catches. Some of them might put in other skills in between them. Others, like Ginastica, for example, will really combine them, link them all together, earn some high difficulty marks for doing just that. The start list for the men's horizontal bar final. 2nd strongest in qualification, Dianovich will be the 2nd to go. And we'll then wait for a little bit right to the penultimate competitor, the top qualifier, Ginastica, and he will be followed by the 3rd strongest in qualification, Milad Karimi, who's just had some success on the parallel bars. So this one could keep us guessing right up until the very end, and that's just how we like it with the horizontal bar. Gymnasts have also got to perform a pirouette. They've got to work close to the bar in moves such as Stolders. And you may well see as well some of the gymnasts opting for grip variation as they catch. They might catch cross-handed just to show a little variety. The most common skill that you are likely to hear will be the skill named after the Soviet gymnast Alexander Kachev. First performed in 1977. Many variations of it. Having a little look at Ivan Dianovich. Second time he's competed at a World Cup. He was 31st on the horizontal bar in Szombathely in 2017. No opportunity to be 31st this time round for any of the gymnasts because of a much smaller field for obvious reasons. But he really has done well coming into this as the 8th strongest in qualification. Great history of gymnastics in the family. We'll come back to that, I'm sure, when we actually see him perform, because it's quite a story actually. Well, is it going to be another exceptional final for the Ukrainian gymnasts, or can the favourite for this, Tin Serbic, intercede? Let's just take stock of what we have seen thus far. The whole thing began with Dianovich winning gold on the vault. A moment to for even the coldest of hearts that. It was such an emotional moment. And she paid an equally emotional tribute to her doctors who'd helped her through the rehabilitation process after her gold medal at the European Championships of 2018. And that itself was an enormously emotional thing. Amazed the camera managed to find Dianovich, such was the speed at which she was running around the arena when she won that gold medal. Really did absolutely win the Glasgow fans over with that. And then it's been a long and painful road. It was on the uneven bars that she injured herself in a freak accident. Caught her toe on the bar, chipped a bone fragment, had to have some surgery, and then an infection post-surgery. She said at the time of the last Szombathely World Cup she was learning how to walk again. Well, she learns things quickly. Her performance was alongside the gold medal of Rok Lavor of Slovenia on the floor. One of the lovely, elegant, stylish gymnasts of the world. A gentleman who, with his comparatively lower level of difficulty, alongside some of the other finalists, proving that old adage of there's more than one way to put together a great score. And he does it through poetically beautiful looking gymnastics. Dianovich of Ukraine, with great difficulty on the uneven bars. And then Nariman Kurbanov and Vincent Herc winning pommel horse and still rings to conclude the first day of competition. All that feels like a long time ago, because we're now at the final event of day number 2. Alexander Bender of Austria will get us underway in this men's horizontal bar final. Here we go. The 5th best performer in qualification, 13.3. Man his friends call Zandi. He is from Graz and is a sports soldier in the army. Starts with a Yamawaki, gets good clearance. Big wind up and good work. Yes, very nice in the Kovac. Kachev in the straight position. And this time the straddle Kachev there, a little bit of variation as mentioned earlier. Hops forward as he lands in quite a pronounced way, but a swingful and enjoyable performance from Alexander Bender. Competed at his 2nd World University Games last year in Napoli, having been there in Taipei when the Austrian team performed well in the team event. And he's another one of those gymnasts, alongside Dusan Djordjevic, who's demonstrated a great degree of perseverance in getting to international final stage. 11 World Cup events he's entered, and it's this weekend that he's made his breakthrough, getting into finals. Just about got clearance in his straight Kachev. 13.3, very consistent. He looks happy with that, and why not? Everything exactly as it was in qualification, and that's part of the process, is transferring what you do in qualification to what you do in the final. So we have embarked in this men's horizontal bar competition. Now a nervy moment for the home fans. Hugely popular athlete here in Hungary, Dianovich. Final preparations for the man who won the competition last year in Szombathely. He has now a full set of colours at the Szombathely World Cup over the years. 8 World Cup medals overall. Dianovich, bronze medalist on the horizontal bar at the European Championships in 2018. The following year he took the same honour at the European Games. Second strongest in qualification. He said he actually forgot part of his warm-up ahead of the qualification. Says he's going to be a touch more focused here in the final. One-arm giant swing as he starts to build up his power, heading towards this first release and catch element. Smooth. Looking good. Big height as he employed the grip variation in the Kachev. That interesting dismount that he has. It is very much his signature piece, and he's performed it well. He's performed it very fluently. Just how good it must feel to get back out there in a final and to deliver that. His teammate will be the next to go. Having to vary the way that they congratulate each other, the gymnasts. Opting for the snowboarding style fist bump now. Might well catch on. Keeps his form looking pretty decent there. There was super height on that Kachev as he mixed the grip. And there, that interesting, almost a counterintuitive looking dismount where he heads in the opposite direction from the way you think he's going to go. The gap between Srbic in qualification and the rest was quite considerable. Srbic was 14.3. Vicernic then 13.55. You go down to 7th and you're at 13.15. So just a few tenths really separating the chasing pack. Much more like it from Vicenich in comparison to qualification. He promised he would be more focused. Well, he was, and the judges agreed. Got a couple of tenths extra from a difficulty standpoint, up to 5.8 and a total score of 14. Does now ask something of Tin Srbic later. Boton Kardoš, his teammate, Vicenich's teammate, that is next up. 13.15. One of two competitors to produce that score, the other Vladislav Hriko. Nice approach to the close control work. Plenty of clearance there on Miskachev. A little too much clearance there on that Kachev, unfortunately. Won the national title on the horizontal bar in 2018. Missed last year's championships, as I mentioned earlier, due to quite a serious shoulder injury and hefty surgery. So for him, it's been more than just the gap in competition. His is a longer journey, an even more complicated story. Fluid Stolders, though. Lovely dismount, super height, plenty of good things in that performance from Boton Kardoš. Just a little difficulty with one of the Kachevs. The problem is, in a men's horizontal bar routine, just as is the case in pretty well all gymnastics, a little difficulty always transpires to be a lot of difficulty. It is unforgiving in its margin of error, a sport like gymnastics. This a look round at the second Kachev, the straddle position one. But everything either side of that was very pleasing. This certainly was. Big moment coming up for him. First ever senior international final for Ivan Dianovich. And he must be looking around at some of these other gymnasts going, I'm in pretty good company here. 11.65 for Boton Kardoš. Has him in third place, likely to be just for the time being though. To Ivan Dianovich of Serbia, 8th strongest in qualification. 21-year-old in his second ever World Cup and his first senior international final. Father Dejan was an international gymnast himself, competed at the World Championships in '97. Yamawaki, and a high one. Needs to keep this controlled, he's just about done it. Grip variation useful. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Having got through those big skills, just lost his power, lost his swing. Some very nice work in the release elements, though. Spent quite a bit of time in Osijek last year in Croatia, training alongside very experienced gymnasts like Robert Seligman. You may remember having seen Vlada Rakovic already so far today. A pair of them were part of a group of 4 young gymnasts that went there. Said he really found it a great experience to train alongside Seligman and watch him working. Fluid and well-controlled dismount, almost there for Ivan Dianovich. A lot of it went really well. Well, as I mentioned earlier, his father, an international gymnast, not just a gymnast, an accomplished judge as well. He was one of the execution judges for the men's vault final in Rio. I'm sure that was a nice, calm experience. And his older brother, Bojan, an elite level gymnast as well, who's competed at 3 world championships. They both were part of the SD Vojvodina team that romped to the national title last year by about 500,000 points over the next team. And it was a routine from young Dianovich that contained an awful lot that was very well executed. Dismounted well, very well. So it brings us to the halfway point of this men's horizontal bar final. .11.7 is the score for Dianovich. So he's in provisional bronze medal position, just ahead of Boton Kardosh, who drops down into 4th place. Still, it's David Vicenic who leads. Alexander Bender in the silver medal position. Petro Pagniuk, 4th best in qualification, has just won the parallel bars title. He got a silver on parallel bars last time and won the gold this time. He got a silver on this last time. Can he win the gold this time? That's nice, close work to the apparatus. Second Katchev varies the grip. That's a big pirouette. Powerfully attack that. Unfortunate right at the conclusion. Yes, his reaction rather tells the story. What did I just do there? He seems to be suggesting. Isn't he a lovely gymnast technically, though? Elements of watching that routine like a knife passing through butter. Certainly embodies the idea of a swingful display. But he will be acutely aware of the gentleman who is to come, the performance after next, and the need for the execution to be so very strong, considering the difficulty that Tin Serbic is going to post. Just took a moment of hesitation there, but almost imperceptible. Might just be able to see there, some of you, if you're eagle-eyed, the insignia on the seats. Falco KC Basketball Club, they play in the FIBA Europe Cup in the top flight of Hungarian basketball as well. Had some good performances in the league recently. Pachniuk is in second place, 13.3, exactly as he did in qualification. Vladislav Hriko of Ukraine, 7th strongest in qualifying, 13.15 for him. 6th World Cup final that he's made in his 5th event, yet to win a medal. He's finished 5th on 3 occasions. Gets some good height in that Kachev. Very stable from Vlad Hriko. Competed for Ukraine at his 3rd World Championships in Stuttgart last year. Was a very busy athlete in the team final. Some of you may remember Ukraine made some changes to their lineup to conserve energies for individual events. Qualified in 4th position for that team final, ended up finishing 8th. Something the judges, as I'm sure many of you are aware, look to really see on this piece is very good clearance. It's not just about cleanly executing the release move, they've got to really show amplitude as well. .45. Vladislav Hriko goes into the silver medal position ahead of Petro Pachniuk, behind David Vicenic with 2 to go. Ginastica of Croatia. Top qualifier, 14.3. Silver medalist at the World Championships last year, 2 years after winning the title in 2017. Now we anticipate his characteristic power and complexity. Here we go. A whole mixture of Kachevs and well executed ones too. It's going to be troublesome difficulty for the rest. Oh, that's a picture perfect dismount from Ginastica. Beautiful landing. Super gymnastics from one of the finest on this piece. And encouraging for him. He already has 13 medals at World Cup level, 6 of them gold. He actually started with 4 consecutive bronze medals, including one in Szombathely in 2016. 2017 was kind of the breakthrough year for him. It's funny to think that he's only got the 1 medal here in Szombathely, and it is that bronze, with all he has achieved. And he is still young as well. Just 23. Highly accomplished mechanical engineer. So he knows how to put things together, doesn't he? Put things together that work. Well, it certainly is going to be up there. Oh, it's really going to be up there. 14.65. Dianovich, a 6.1 difficulty, as we expected, bolsters it by a few tenths from qualification. And he goes very comfortably into the lead. So just one final competitor. The young man who took a silver medal in the parallel bars. So let us just take stock of the numeracy. Srbic in the gold medal position, Vicenic in silver, and then Vlad Hriko. He has the bronze at the moment. Hriko's score, occupying bronze, 13.45. Karimi's score in qualification, 13.4. So this could be close. To the silver medalist from the World University Games from last year in Napoli. He's done well to hold on to that. This is very powerful. It's big work. That's lovely. As is that. Oh, oh, that's a lovely pirouette. He just danced across the bar. Very well done, Milad Karimi. What a lovely conclusion to his competition, and what stylish work on the horizontal bar. That's a great way to draw to a close the competition here in Szombathely. Unsurprisingly, he does look very content with that work. Look back and enjoy this, and there is much to enjoy. Only a little loss of the form on his legs, otherwise well controlled. Popular Kovac skill. That's the really nice connection which he sees so little of the bar on. And there, that pirouette, it's like watching someone do a chaîné turn with their hands. Athletic quality. It's made things very interesting for them and for us. 13.45 bronze, 14 silver, 14.65 gold. And we will know if those numbers still stand in just a short while. There's always time for a selfie. Or two. or 3 or 4. I think everybody is just so delighted to be back at a competition. Very well done indeed, Milad Karimi, 14.15. His difficulty, 6.3. Up by 8/10 from qualification. And in doing so, he has displaced Dianovich down into bronze. He's starting to acquire quite something of a reputation on that piece.
The only act that remains is the awarding ceremony of the men's horizontal bar final.
Well, it brings the competition to a close, but don't think of going anywhere just yet. Please do stay with us to enjoy the presentation of the men's horizontal bar medals, which I'm aware is slightly undermined by seeing people walk out as I say it. Ginastica taking the gold medal for Croatia with a great display, 14.65. But Milad Karimi with the last performance of the day and the weekend, 14.15. He wins the silver medal. Dianovich, a bronze for the host nation, making sure they're on the podium at the final event of the weekend, just as they were at the first. Quite a clear gap between the front three there. And it remained as compact with 4 through to 6 as it did in qualification, really.